Hi, my name is Charles Traylor, and I'm the general manager for a company called Archline.com. We're a company that is a wide area network comprised of architects and engineers in a widely diverse geographical area that we come together on an as-needed basis to provide AutoCAD and Revit architectural working drawings for other architects and engineers around the country. As I've mentioned in previous videos, we've done work in over half the states in the country, probably over 150 firms and over 1,000 completed assignments. In my last video, I was telling you a little bit about how I went from being a national wide area collaborative network to working internationally. And over the years that followed, this is running from about 2003 or 4 forward. Although we really had everything pretty well lined out as far as the technology of collaboration was concerned, there started to be other constraints that we've run into as far as being able to run a profitable and productive company. And one of these constraints dealt with email, and the other was offshore competition. I call them the offshore crowd. I'm going to share with you in this email some of one of the particular problems I ran into with email, because it makes an interesting story. I discovered that cold email broadcasting was an excellent way to advertise my company's services. A guy named George Wilcox had a company that published an application I could run on my computer hard drive, and it interfaced with a commercially available program called ACT, which is a customer relations management database. And his program was called eFortune Flow. This software could hook up to my email provider and ACT and send out enormous volumes of email in a very short length of time. And the firms I sent my email broadcast to were located all over the United States. I could send out 10,000 emails in less than an hour. And when I first started sending out emails in this manner, the response was pretty fantastic. I'd get back 25 or 30 answers from architects indicating an interest in doing business. And I prepared proposals and sometimes closed on 25 or 30% of whatever I was making contacts for. And I got to a point where I was responding to a dozen or more requests for proposals per month, and I started getting busy. My volume was building up, and at some point I had sometimes over a dozen projects. I think one time I got up to about 15 or 16 projects, and the projects were also getting bigger. And I've got some of those projects illustrated on my website at www.archline.com. And when I first started doing email broadcasting, it was pretty easy. The emails were well received, and I had a lot of responses. And then in 2003, in a response to what people were beginning to see was too much email received from too many people, they started calling it spam. We had Congress pass a law called the 2003 Can-Spam Act. And suddenly it became quite a bit more problematical to send out email broadcasts, because if you weren't careful, you could find yourself getting blackballed on the internet by various internet police resources that watched to see what kind of traffic was going back and forth on the internet. And when I first started doing this, I really wasn't too careful about what I sent out. I'd sent out a cartoon that was sort of related to the architectural business, and slogans and that sort of thing. And after the Can-Spam Act came out, and by the way, I'd send the emails out maybe once a week, twice a month, something of that nature. And after the Can-Spam Act came out, I began making a transition to making a series of short solicitation letters, and only send them out maybe once every month or so. I was concerned too that the ease at which I was able to close deals seemed to be slowing down because of the fact that I really wasn't able to make contact with that many architects anymore. And I myself, I was experiencing a lot of spam. I was getting like 2, maybe 300 unsolicited emails per day. And so I looked around to see if I could find a web consultant that could help me maybe sharpen up my tools, concepts such as search engine optimization and Google ads, Facebook ads, and so on were starting to emerge as methods of getting new business. And my computer consultant, Phil Ryan, referred me to a woman named Martina Kohlmetter, who was a web consultant, and I met with her, and she said she'd like to see some samples of the kind of emails that I'd been sending out. I said, sure, I'll send you something. And the thing I realized after she had left is that all my emails were in HTML format. And so I had to set this up as an email broadcast that used the program George Wilcox had put together for me. And the way I was going to do that is to set her up as the sender, whereas in my case I had been the sender to send out 10,000 emails. I was going to have her send out an email, but this time I was going to make the list just be one, which would be her email address. Had that all set up and hit the send button, and it should have gone out instantly, but I noticed that the computer was processing something, and I thought, oh, what's going on? And then I suddenly realized that I had not set it up to only send her one email. I had set it up to send out one of my typical 10,000 email broadcasts. So within about 2 seconds, I hit the kill switch, or the kill button, and then went to my send box to see how many emails actually went out, and it looked like about 600 within just the first few seconds of going out. So I picked up the phone and called Martina, told her what was going on, and she looked and she said, yeah, I can see that coming in on my computer are acknowledgments of the emails that were sent out, and she wasn't very happy about that. And so she said, you know, I don't think I want to do business with you, and I'm going to invoice you for the time I've put into this to date, and you pay me $750. I thought, good gracious, she hadn't even done a proposal yet. I haven't received anything of value from her, and so I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and pay her because I could kind of smell litigation of some kind or another taking place. If we had to go into court or whatever she was going to be complaining about, I'd spend a lot more money than $750. But I put a note on the back of the check that said that if she accepted payment, that she would relieve me of all responsibility for any liability that took place between the two of us. So she came over to pick up the check, and when she saw the endorsement on the back of the check, she just blew up and stormed out of my office. And I thought maybe that'd be the end of it, but it wasn't. The next video that I'll send to you describes the conflagration we got into together, everything that took place after that, and it was an interesting couple of years that I got into with her. Meanwhile, if you think that you might be interested in our doing some work together, give me a call at 214-304-2850. Call me any time of the day or night, any time of the week, any time of the month, any time of the year, 24/7, 365. Or send me an email at archline@archline.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.